purchase its PS5 upgrade for a measly $10. Now, what do you get for that? Can you see it? Oh, yeah, well, the PS4 version over there, look. Huh? It's actually the PS5 version? I'll just chalk it up to me being insane. I am talking to nobody after all. Yes, there is a difference, but why do I have to pay for this upgrade when numerous PS4 games like God of War from 2018 got a PS5 update free of charge? That added the same exact kind of performance bumps that's costing me $10 whole with its sequel. And you know, while the enhancements on PS5 are very welcome to make for a more enjoyable experience with smoother gameplay, more stable frame rate, it's not like the PS4 version runs poorly, especially if you're playing it on the PS5 through backwards compatibility. I feel like we were getting bigger jumps with the previous consoles, yet we weren't paying extra like we are here. But I guess there's just this golden rule that games from this era of console cannot be $70. Unless you want to fuck around a little bit. So Activision was able to weasel $70 games onto the PS4 by bundling the $10 upgrade to the PS5 version in as a mandatory inclusion. Doesn't matter if you don't own a PS5, you're getting a PS5 game whether you like it or not. So, it seems like the only method these companies have to price games above that $60 price point on these last generation consoles is to create bundles. As long as the base package is at most 60, even if that base package isn't available for purchase, it's all good. Just don't even think about pricing a standalone game higher than that on these consoles. But Scott, you squeal, what if you stop giving a shit? Oh, okay, under those circumstances, sure. Nintendo Switch games priced at 70. Even when the max game price for the majority of the console's life was 60, in 2023, I discovered anything is possible. Even bullshit. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was priced the exact same as all these big PS5 and Xbox Series X games, even when it was running on hardware most comparable to
yes.
Alright, now, keep in mind, it's not that I don't think Tears of the Kingdom itself isn't worth $70. Rather, up until this point, price points of most traditional video games seem to be dictated by the hardware it was on, not the game itself. That, it's comparable to that. Like, was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on PS5 truly worth $70 compared to all these games that were 60 just because they were on a console where that was the standard? Nintendo stated they based the prices of their games on a case-by-case basis. The case here being, can we get away with this? With Tears of the Kingdom,
Literally.
that makes sense. Plugged in at 16 gigabytes tall, meaning they had to use a mighty expensive 32 gigabyte game card to house it all. Then it stopped The Witcher 3 from being a flat 60, even though it used a 32 gig card too. But Tears of the Kingdom is a new game, a massive game, one that reuses loads of content and assets from Breath of the Wild, a $60 game designed for a console from 2012 whose hardware is most similar to a console from 2005. Damn, they should be paying me to buy this. Alright, let's be fair. Did the enjoyment I got out of this game justify the price tag? I would undoubtedly say yes. The fact of the matter is, this was a special situation. You can argue it all you want, but Tears of the Kingdom could probably be considered the peak of what Nintendo Switch was capable of in terms of a game's scope. This was an impressive title, even by the standards of far more powerful consoles. If any Nintendo Switch game deserved to be $70, Mortal Kombat 1. This game didn't even release on PS4 or Xbox One. They probably considered the Nintendo Switch to be a current generation console, and thus its price point reflected that. And nothing else did. I'm confused, because the publisher Warner Brothers released Hogwarts Legacy, like their biggest release ever on PS5 for 70, and Nintendo Switch for 60.
So 7.
Why do this with just Mortal Kombat? What is it, because Hogwarts got a PS4 version? So, let me get this straight.
Colin, you have the calculator open. Can you do me a quick math? 30 million times 70?
This is where the line is drawn, where the quality is too damn high to continue to suffer warranting a $60 price point.
$70 for the game and 30 times 30 million copies sold.
Let's take everything we've learned and try to answer this. What makes a game 70 bucks? Son of a bitch, they're 80 now. With the release of Mario Kart World on Nintendo Switch 2, $80 became the standard for cream of the crop gaming. Now I don't think there's any pitter-patter
$2 bill.
video
Nice.
game price points anymore. Some
Nice.
publishers realize what's genuinely stopping us from charging whatever we want. You want to charge $80 for your game? Do it. Nintendo's reason for why Mario Kart is $80? Because it's worth it. some math equation to show you explain
Right.
themselves? Alright, that makes sense now. Thank God you understand gibberish. What we just went through here showcases the game industry's everlasting struggle to warrant higher price points until eventually realizing, who cares? Now, am I enraged at the jump to $80? Will I boycott publishers not sticking to an agreed upon maximum price point? Now, respectfully, who the f am I to do any of that? I'm awful. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all, but why are we acting like purchasing a video game for children is making some sort of statement? Either you think it's worth it or you don't.
Or you don't,
It's not
yeah.
deep. Everybody's perception of value is different. Nobody's
So-
right or wrong. You don't need to buy that toy on the shelf, but if you refuse, you're not better than anybody who doesn't. What, you think the guy who's judging anybody who bought Mario Kart World and all those internet comment sections is like a cool
I
guy?
don't know, Scott. That's kind of a L take.
Damn, Golden Grams are stickier than they were last week.
Well, so I bet if I look at all the crap you buy, it'll all check out. Everything will make perfect financial sense. Now, does that mean you're off the hook if you defend Nintendo's pricing here? Buddy, what is there to defend? Oh, I gotta stick it up for the multi-billion-dollar company. They need my help. I will lift this for them.